Hi, everybody. Eric here with Smart Pot Fabric Planners, back again with another episode of The Growing Revolution. And we have a guest, Misilla dela Llana. Almost butchered that. Sorry about that. And she's coming to us. She's got a awesome series of grow videos, Learn to Grow. She's got a book coming out, and so we wanted to ask her about her gardening journey, where she's been, where she's going, and welcome to the show, Misilla.
Thanks, Eric.
Awesome. So, yeah, thanks for joining us today. Now, I read kind of like in your little biography that you're originally from the Philippines. What was life growing up there for you?
So I lived there till I was 10, then moved here when I was, 10, just when I turned 10. So it was a lot different. We know it's a third world country, so we didn't have much at all, but we lived a simple life and we were still content. But it's definitely a lot different. If you go there and you've lived here in the States all your life, it'd be a culture shock.
Yeah, I think 90 Day Fiance is there's been a few people from the Philippines on there, so
Mhm.
I don't know if you're familiar with that show. Uh, Very popular in our household.
Okay.
Were you growing over there, gardening, or was that like, something that wasn't done in your family?
Well, on both side of my mom and dad, both side of my family, they were actually my mom's side. They all lived in a farm, so there was always um, farming and gardening involved, and also on my dad's side as well. So in the Philippines, I didn't really garden that much because a lot of the fruit trees that grew there were already established that surrounded our house. So there was a mango tree, guava, lots of coconut palm trees that grew naturally in the dirt roads
Nice.
and banana plants. So a lot of things were already there, and we would just go out there and pick what was available. So I didn't grow those because there was already planted before we moved in, and maybe some of them
Yeah.
already grew naturally. Yeah.
Hey,
So that
you
was
were
really
still
neat.
doing the labor to pick those and bring them home, so there was work
Oh, we were
involved.
climbing the trees. Yes, I
Nice.
remember climbing, and there would be red ants, and we would get pinched. So a lot of memories. So it was a neat
Um,
experience. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, so you eventually moved to the U.S. and like, started your a family and started the Learn to Grow social media accounts. Now, what were you doing before starting Learn to Grow?
So before I got into the social media bandwagon, I was working part-time in retail and homeschooling our children. And also,
Nice.
I was always gardening. So I always had a garden and lots of houseplants. And then that came up, and then it went from there.
What prompted you to start the Learn to Grow social media?
So my husband actually had a lot to do with it. He was saying, "Well, you do this already. Why don't you share it on YouTube? This new platform that, when I think it started in 2006." And so I opened an account in 2011. I was still a little hesitant because I wasn't sure how to present, but he said I was already doing it, so why not share it with everyone else? And so that's how it started. So I was
Yeah. Do you
grateful
and
that he encouraged me to do it.
sometimes we need a little, push to step outside of our
Yeah,
comfort zone and do what we're meant to do. How many
exactly.
followers are you up to now on your social media channels?
I believe in YouTube, 135,000. Then we have Facebook, almost 50,000. And I think we just hit 84,000 on Instagram and 42,000 on TikTok.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
Now
so
it's called Learn to Grow. Would you say that
yeah.
your content is geared towards the beginner grower, or do you have content in there for the experienced gardener as well?
I think it's for everyone. So I go over a lot of basic stuff, but I also introduce unique plants and crops, perennials, also some of the things I try to incorporate some science in it. So I think everyone can benefit from it.
Nice. I think, if people know the basics of plant science, it kind of demystifies a lot of the products and, especially fertilizer
Yeah,
products that are out there. If it's
yes,
like knowing how to drive a race car. If you know the mechanics of the car, you can kind of drive any car. Um,
exactly.
so, as far as container gardening goes, what are your thoughts
Mhm.
on smart pot fabric planters, and who do you think would benefit the most from container gardening, especially in your region where you're at?
Yes. We love smart pots. We actually enjoy planting in it, and our littlest has the purple ones. And we've just grown flowers, leafy greens. What else did she grow? We put some herbs in there. You can pretty much grow whatever you want in it. And from my experience from planting in them, is I've had a lot of success. The plants are more vigorous, more productive. And I was really impressed last summer. We had a lot of tomatoes and peppers. A lot of the herbs grew really well in it. And so I did some science research on that. And also, it's because of the air pruning, because of the porosity of the container, it allows the air to get in there, which naturally prunes the roots so they don't become root bound. And so they grow these branching fibrous roots that's able to absorb the nutrients and water more efficiently. And so I
Yeah,
think that's why plants are so productive in it.
yeah, it's
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 very
all about
impressive.
the
Yeah.
roots with any plant, and yeah, with the smart
Mhm.
pot fabric planter, the root development is optimized. So, more roots, more
Yes, it's
fruits.
excellent. And I
Now, what are
think
your
everyone,
go ahead.
sorry, I was going to say anyone can benefit from growing in them, whether you have a small space or a large space, because you have the different sizes, they have the different sizes, so you can grow
Yep.
even trees in it, smaller
Yeah.
plants. So I think, especially if you have a limited space, I think it's excellent because you can also move them around.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we even have 1 gallon containers so people can be doing, little microgreens and herbs on their windowsill. So there's no excuse to not have a smart pot or two.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly.
what are your, yeah, what are your thoughts about being sustainable as a family by home gardening? How much do you think you're saving in your grocery bills by your gardening activities?
So I haven't really added up how much we're saving, but I think it's pretty significant because if you're harvesting a lot of your produce from your backyard, you're saving on time and gas, trips to the grocery store, and also it's convenient and the produce is more nutrient dense because you're growing it, if you're growing it organically. So I think it's pretty significant, especially if you're growing certain crops that can be grown throughout the year.
Absolutely. And I think commercial agriculture, a lot of people don't consider that most produce is harvested way earlier than what is optimal. And most, plants kind of put on those sugars and nutrients in the last couple weeks before harvest. So it's like we're really kind of cutting ourselves short nutrient wise, unless you're growing
Yeah,
at home on your own. We're able to pick at the
absolutely.
peak of ripeness.
And
I
you can taste the difference too.
Yeah,
The
absolutely,
taste and the
absolutely,
smell. Yes, yes.
100%. Now I saw somewhere that you were selected to represent Washington
Mhm.
State in the YouTube United States Impact promotion. What was that about, and how did you get chosen for that?
So I was very surprised. Excuse me. Excuse me, sorry. So when they contacted me via email, that was July or June 2020. So the United States of YouTube Impact was launched that year, which celebrates creators and small businesses that share their creativity and their passion on YouTube, and also those that contributed to the economy. So that was launched about almost 2 years ago now, and I think it's an ongoing thing, but it's something that they put together. And so they emailed me, and I wasn't familiar with it at first, so very surprised and but grateful that our channel was chosen to represent Washington State. So
Yeah, I
it's a
mean
really
that
neat
that's a big
opportunity.
honor. YouTube slash Google, that's a huge company.
Mhm.
So getting them to kind of
Right.
amplify your voice is
Yes.
really cool.
Very
Now
grateful.
I saw that you've got a book coming out, Four Season Food Gardening: How to Grow Vegetables, Fruits, and Herbs Year Round. Now, when does this book come out, and what prompted you to write it?
So it is going to be released on March 15th. So it's about 11 days. And I was inspired to write it by my mom, who is my garden mentor, my auntie and my uncle also, and also my late dad and grandfather who were writers. So I just want to share the knowledge that was passed down to me with everyone and inspire them
Nice.
also to grow food.
Nice, nice. So I love the idea of gardening year round and being as productive as possible, and having a step-by-step tutorial on what to plant and when just makes life so much easier, and I just love this idea. What would you say are a couple of your favorite gardening tips for extending the season?
So for extending the season, it's a good idea to select crops that you can grow year round. So selecting cold tolerant crops that you can plant through the fall and winter months. Also heat tolerant crops that you can plant in spring that will grow throughout the summer. And also applying season extenders such as a row cover. So as easy as applying or making a hoop house out of PVC pipes and then putting a cover to insulate the plants so that way they can produce or grow through the colder seasons. Also, you can use cloches, cold frames, and if you have a greenhouse, you should utilize that in the fall and winter months, and that will prolong your
Nice.
harvest.
Nice. Yeah, I think with a little bit of, kind of advanced planning, building
Mhm.
a little bit of hardware, you can definitely extend those seasons, extend your backyard grocery, garden, and just be productive year round. So I love I can't wait to, check your book out, and hopefully we can promote your book on our own Smart Pot social media channel, and maybe do a giveaway or something.
Thank you so
Our fans
much.
always love that
Oh,
sort of thing.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, you've been a great advocate for us, over the last couple years, and you've put out a lot of really cool videos and pictures featuring Smart Pot products. So, we appreciate your hard work and advocacy on our part.
You're welcome. And likewise, appreciate your support.
Yeah. Well, the gardening community, has room for everybody, and, we're all doing, valuable work. So the more we can kind of amplify each other's voices, the better. So I guess, last question.
Mhm.
Any plans for the future? Are you going to be coming out with more books, more videos? What does the future hold for you?
Um, I'm not sure. Well, I wouldn't mind writing a book later in the future. So right now I'm actually at the stage where I'm trying to promote it and trying to catch up on YouTube videos. So it's kind of setting me back because I'm taking some time to do the other stuff. But I
Yeah,
guess
you,
we'll
you
see what
can't you
happens.
can't clone yourself, so there's only so much you can do
Yeah,
in the given day, right? And then especially if you're a homeschooling mom, that's a job and a half in and of
yeah,
itself. I know
exactly.
that firsthand.
Just gotta pace
Um,
myself. So
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Misilla, this has been really great getting to know you more and learn about what you're doing. Um, your social media channels that people can follow you on. Basically, just search "Learn to Grow" and they'll find your handles, right?
Yep,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on the Growing Revolution, and we'll be looking forward to following your feeds going forward.
My pleasure, and thank you as well.
Thanks.